Hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Today we will be talking about medicinal plants, especially from the Northeast India. I'll be talking about why I'm talking about the Northeast India. So when we say about Northeast India, the states that come under Northeast India include Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland. So these are the states, and these are the lower part of the Himalayan range, because of which they are very rich in biodiversity, and there are different landscapes. Again, there are different tribal communities as well as different indigenous communities. So when there is different tribal communities and different indigenous communities in different parts of such states, then there will be different practices of therapeutic uses of, even if it is a single plant, they will have a varied practices, therapeutic uses. So that we will be talking about. So there is a rich biodiversity and rich diversity of medicinal plants. So the diversity of medicinal plants and the diversity in the therapeutic practices by the different tribal communities and indigenous communities of the different states led to the involvement of different medicinal uses. So let's discuss medicinal plants with respect to some diseases. What are some of the important diseases or common diseases that we see in our day-to-day life? Is high blood pressure. They are very common. Diabetes, cold and cough, cuts and wounds, urinary tract infection, stomach uh, ulcer, gastritis, diarrhea and dysentery, kidney stone, toothache, piles. These are very common that we see. So we'll be talking about the medicinal plants that are used in certain diseases. So firstly, we'll talk about the high blood pressure. So important causes of high blood pressure includes stress, obesity, chronic kidney diseases, too much consumption of alcohol and smoking. So these are the important causes of high blood pressure. And so we'll discuss about the plants that are used against or to reduce the high blood pressure. So the first one here we will discuss about Passiflora edulis. So Passiflora edulis is commonly known as the passion fruit, which is also a very delicious fruit. This comes under the family Passifloraceae. So the leaf is used in this case. So the leaf decoction is taken orally for controlling the high blood pressure. So the next plant is Allium hookery. This plant has got a high medicinal value apart from using against the high blood pressure. So in this case, the leaf is used. So the leaf decoction is taken orally for controlling the high blood pressure. So Blumia balsamifera, this it comes under the family Asteraceae. Here the leaf is used. So the leaf decoction or the small amount of juice can be taken orally to control the high blood pressure. So this is Clerodendrum, glandulosum, which are commonly accepted as Clerodendrum colubrucanum. So, but this is actually the synonym. So this comes under the family Lamiaceae. So here the leaf is again used. So the leaf decoction or the soup of the leaf is taken for controlling the high blood pressure. So the next plant is Homscioldea sanguineum. So this comes under the family Verbenaceae. So the leaf is used here. So the crushed leaf is applied on the forehead. So it reduces headache or dizziness due to the high blood pressure. So let's discuss about diabetes. So what are the common causes? Uh, the common causes of diabetes are the physical inactivity, obesity, overweight, unhealthy food and lifestyle, genetic problems. So there are other causes, but these are the common or important causes that led to diabetes. So what are the plants that are used under diabetes? First one is Ficus hispida, that comes under the family Moraceae. So the fruits, leaves and barks are used. So the crushed fruits, when it is boiled with salt, or the soup of the leaves and the boiled barks, they are all can be can be taken, and it can be used against the diabetes. So the next plant is Barleria albustulata. So this comes under the family Acanthaceae. So the leaves are used. Here the decoction of the leaves or the boil it is boiled until the original quantity is it comes to half, or it is concentrate to half, and it can be taken orally against diabetes. So the next plant we'll talk about is Susbania suspan. So this comes under the family Fabaceae. So here the young fruits are taken. So uh, it is really easy to consume because the tender fruits, they can be cooked as vegetables. So it makes uh, you know a good way to consume, and this reduces the diabetic problems. So the next plant is Antidesma acidum. This comes under the family Phyllanthacea. So the leaves are used here. The soup of the leaves can be taken. That reduces the diabetic problems. So let's talk about cold, cough and fever. So the common causes or the causes can be varied in this case. Like it can be due to viral diseases, bacterial diseases, allergic reactions, or sometimes it can be a side effects of other diseases. So let's see what are the plants used here. The first one here we will discuss about Benincasa hispida. This comes under the family Cucurbitaceae. So the fruit is used here. What we can do is we can slice the thin fruit into thin slices, and this can be applied on the forehead, which reduces the body temperature due to fever. And again, the fruit can be boiled with rock sugar, and it can be served as a nutritious food during fever. So here this is Sapindus trifoliatus, and this comes under the family Sapindaceae. Here the seed cotyledon is used. So the seed cotyledon, when it is crushed with onion and applied on the forehead, it reduces the body temperature. So again, so this is Phlogacanthus thyrsiformis. This is a very important plant when it comes to cold, cough and fever. This comes under the family Acanthaceae. The flowers and the leaves are mainly used here. So what people do is, when there is somebody with fever or cold or cough, the leaves are boiled and the steam is let to diffuse in the house. So that way the whole steam gets diffused in a large area, or in other case the steam can be directly taken. Again, another way is, uh, if the person is let to sit on the slightly hot boiled water of the leaves, so that way uh, they can be used. Or in other cases, if the person is allowed to take bath with the water boiled with the leaves, so that is a good way. or if the juice is to be, or if the decoction is to be taken, they should be taken in a very less amount. So these are the common uses. Again, the flowers can be eaten fresh or can be fried. So when the flowers are fried and eaten from time to time, it increases the immunity. So this is Xanthosxylum acanthopodium, which comes under the family Rutaceae. The leaves are used here. The leaves are very aromatic. So the decoction of these leaves with Phlogacanthus, uh, thyrsiformis. So the decoction of these two leaves can be taken orally to reduce the fever. So let's talk about diarrhea and dysentery. The common causes of diarrhea and dysentery can be due to bacteria, viruses, parasites, by unhygienic food and water, and then it can be due to drugs, toxins, food allergy, etc. So there can be other causes also, but these are the main causes of diarrhea and dysentery. So the plants that use against diarrhea and dysentery includes uh, Crassosephalum crapidioides, which comes under the family Asteraceae. The leaves are used here, so the decoction of the leaves is orally taken against diarrhea. So the next plant is Galinsoga parviflora from the family Asteraceae. So here again the leaves are used. The decoction of the leaves when mixed with honey can be taken orally. So this can be used against diarrhea and dysentery both. So Justicia atadora from the family Acanthaceae. So the leaves can be used here. The decoction of the leaves is orally taken against dysentery. So that's all for diarrhea and dysentery. So we will talk about gastritis. The common causes of gastritis can be due to bacteria, excessive alcohol consumption, unhealthy food, overuse of medicines, and many more. But these are the common causes. So we'll talk about the plants that can be used again under the or to cope with the gastritis. The first plant is Cucurma amada, or generally known as uh, mango ginger. So this is from the family Gingiberaceae. So the rhizomes are used here. So the rhizomes is crushed and mixed with salt and eaten. So this reduces the problems of gastritis. Okay, this is Ficus bengalensis from the family Moraceae, and here the bark is used. So the decoction of the bark is taken here orally, and this reduces the problems of gastritis. So this is Hedychium coccineum from the family Gingiberaceae. There are different species of Hedychium, or a huge diversity of the Gingiberaceae family in the whole of Northeast India, but and each one of them has got a high medicinal value. In this case, this is Hedychium coccineum. The tender shoots are used, and the tender shoots can be eaten raw or they can be boiled to reduce the problems of gastritis. So this is Hedychium flavescens from the family Gingiberaceae. Again, so this is also commonly known as the yellow butterfly flower, and the rhizomes are used here, and the boiled rhizome can be mashed with honey and then taken to reduce the problems of gastritis. Last but not the least, this is Capsicum chinense from the family Solanaceae. So here the fruit is used. It is extremely hot, but uh, the effect that gives you internally. This is far less than the normal chili. So in this case, uh, for gastritis, what we can do is we take a pinch of this chili and mix with a large glass of water, and taken orally. This will give you a quick relief from the gastritis. So I think this is one of the best you know medicine that can be used in gastritis. So that's all for today. But let's see the summary of today's session. First, we talked about high blood pressure. So in high blood pressure, we had discussed about Passiflora edulis, Allium hookery, Blumia balsamifera, Clerodendrum glandulosum, Holmes Theodelia, sanguinea. These are the plants that we discussed under high blood pressure. Under diabetes, we discussed about Ficus hispida, Barleria albostellata, Sesbania sesban, Antidesma acidum. Under the problems of cold, cough, and fever, we discuss about Benincasa hispida, Sapindus trifoliatus, Phlogacanthus thyrsiformis, Xanthozylum acanthopodium. So these are the plants we discussed under cold, cough, and fever. About diarrhea and dysentery, we discussed about Chrysocephalum crepidioides, Galinsoga parviflora, Justicia atadoda. These are the plants we discussed. For gastritis, we discussed about Curcuma amada, Ficus bengalensis, Hedychium coccineum, Hedychium flavescens, Capsicum chinense. So these are the plants we discussed under the gastritis. So this is the summary of the plants we discussed today. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.